Hey, concrete friends, this is The Joy of Concrete, the channel where we explore the world of concrete together. So here we go. I had a suggestion from Kale Nugs in the comments, K-Nugs, as I like to call them, about trying out some inexpensive molds. So I went onto Amazon Prime and I found these three multifaceted diamond silicone molds. I think they're designed for, they said they're for resin. I think they will work with concrete, and they were $17 on Amazon Prime. So 3 molds. Let's test them out. Let's see how they fare. They look interesting. I'm curious. Let's see. We've got a bowl to mix our concrete. Not just any concrete, but gray matter. What is gray matter, you may ask? Gray matter is a concrete mix that I developed with the help of many others to make art. A concrete mix designed specifically to make art. Make really beautiful, clean castings, amazing sidewall color stuff, and yeah, can't talk. I can't talk right now. I'm trying to measure. I'm guessing. I'm just kind of eyeballing this. One of these is this much. 1, 2. Let's go one more. You know what? If we end up with a partial, it's not a big deal. That's a little more. That should be enough. That is enough concrete for us. Sriracha water. So what was I saying? This is gray matter. This is designed for making art. Because I was having a hard time. I was using concrete from the hardware store to make art, and it sucked. It took too long to cure, and all of my castings were crusty. So crusty, dusty, and not that strong. Gray matter is about 4 times stronger than hardware store concrete, which means you get cleaner edges. Turns out beautiful. But really, it's just from the ground up, without getting super technical, it's a mix designed to make art. Concrete, your average concrete is designed to make industrial stuff, infrastructure, roads, water and sewer lines, buildings. And I didn't want to make that. I wanted to make beautiful little things, which takes an entirely different set of properties. So I had to get a mix. We had to make a new mix, something high performance. In the concrete world, this would be a high performance mix. And high performance mixes are available out there in the world, but only to the top doggies, the very best of the best, big companies, because they come along with really high licensing fees. If you want to get a high performance concrete mix, chances are you're going to have to license it. Yeah. And when we're talking about concrete that's made for buildings, look at this. Pure white mineral pigments. We source all these pigments on our own. We test them in-house to make sure they're color correct every time. Today I am going real pastel-y. That's weird, isn't it? Pastel concrete. I love it though. We're gonna go a little wetter. Don't want to go too wet. Sriracha water. Heat mixing. There we go. Coming together. Now, I'm doing this just kind of by eye and feel. I'm going a little wetter than I normally would. If you've watched the channel, check out the other videos. You'll see a bunch of different concrete casting techniques. But for today's video, I want this a little bit wet because I'm doing just kind of a rainbow blend. Yeah, red right there. So, a little bit of yellow right there. Okay. Going quick. A little bit of green. There we go. There. Pardon me. Pollen is we're getting close to spring, and I can feel it in my nose. Grass is out, which means seasonal allergies are happening. And yeah, sorry for the sniffles. Do we like this? Do we like what we see? What was I talking about? Something about concrete. Look at this. Who cares? We've lost our way. Doesn't matter. I feel like I'm just about there. I'm going to go real crazy in this corner. A lot of blue and a little bit of black. Going for it. Need something to contrast all these beautiful pastels. Let's chop that in. But yeah, the type of concrete work I wanted to do and the concrete industry as a whole, we were not compatible. It was anytime I would talk to a concrete manufacturer about what I was doing, they would say, "What are you talking about? We're not going to sell. We're not selling you." No. How much concrete do you want to buy? For what? To make a little tiny thing? No. Just go to the hardware store. But the hardware store wasn't cutting it for me. Oh, look at this. That's yummy. Okay, we're there. So that's how gray matter came to be. Out of my own necessity. I needed it. I needed it so bad. And now let's try out these molds. Here we go. So, you know what? Thanks, Kale Nugs. That was a fun suggestion. Let's test out this mold. Oh, you know what? I've definitely made enough concrete. I'm just shoveling the concrete in there. Keep going. Oop. And one more. Clean up my edge here a little bit. Okay, we got one. So it's got a little, I like that little base. That's handy. Clean this up. Put it in there. It's got a little platform that this thing rests on. That's kind of a nice touch. And you know what? For the amount of weight of concrete that's in here, I'm not really seeing any deformation. The mold is generally holding its shape. A little bit of bowing. Not much though. I'll just tap this a little bit. There we go, there we go. There's our first one. First one, whatever these are, up over there. Now, if I run out of concrete, which one do I want to make sure I make of these? Are they the same? Like, no, they're not the same. This one's nicer. More facets. This one we're gonna really focus on this green color. I want to get that down in there. Then I get some of my peachy reds right after. What do you think? Are we gonna maintain all of these colors, or are we gonna start losing them as it blends out and end up with mud? I hope not. I hope we keep it all, because I like what's going on in here. These are beautiful. Let's get one look. Let's get one look at this. Oh wow, that makes my day. Those colors and the ability to mix those colors in concrete, which you know, that's why we use gray matter, to get the most beautiful color. Here we go, number 2. So let's see, gray matter, this inexpensive mold, what can we make? You know what, really, I've used all kinds of things. If you've seen the other videos, I'm using recycled plastics for molds and getting beautiful, beautiful results. So your molds don't have to be expensive. They can be inexpensive. You want to see what I'm doing? Flicking that. Just putting it up, out of the way. Out of the where? Out of the way. Last one. But the quality of your concrete does matter. And so that's where I'd say, you know what, save some money. If you want to save some money on molds, save some money on molds. But you know where it's going to be tough to save money? Concrete, your concrete mix. Is a high performance concrete mix more expensive than hardware store concrete? Yes, 100% yes. But there's a few, depending on how you're looking at this whole situation, there's a few things going on. Number one, hardware store concrete takes a long time. It takes a long time to cure, and even when it is fully cured, you're probably not going to get the results you want. And that was my hardware store concrete for me, was taking a long time to cure, and I was never getting the proper results. I was always making concessions, and I hate making concessions, especially when it comes to art. That's one place where it's like, I can make concessions in other places. It's like, you want to go to this restaurant, I want to go to that restaurant. I'll make a concession. I don't care. That's not where I'm going to put my foot down. I'll eat whatever. But when it comes to art and making something beautiful, I've got an idea of what beautiful is. And so this one's going to be a partial. I miscalculated by a tiny amount. That's okay. I was kind of planning to have a partial. But yeah, this cures quick. So if this is something that you're actually doing, frequently, you don't want to have to wait 4 or 5 days to safely demold something without fear of it busting up. You want to do it right away. And with gray matter, you can do this. We're going to demold these in 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. Think about that. So there they are. Our molds purchased from Amazon Prime, $17. It'll cut to that. It'll be like, here it is. Here's the listing. I'll take a screenshot of the listing and you'll see it. But catch you on the cured side, 4 hours. Let's see how these things turn out. Bye, everybody. Hey, concrete friends, we're back on the cured side. It has been 4 hours, and it's time to see how these Amazon Prime molds hold up. I think probably great. They're probably going to be great. So these molds are a little bit different than what I'm used to working with. I think we can actually just turn them inside out. This is our best bet. And boom, there's one. There's one. Mold looks pretty good. Didn't get any tear or breakout during that little inside out endeavor. Let's go number 2. Huh. Interesting. One. This one's a little trickier. I got it though. Number 2. Okay, pretty good. Number 2 looks pretty good. And number 3, the partial. And again, we got another mold, came out. No problem. They're not beautiful, crystal clear anymore, and I doubt they ever will be after that. But they look they're intact. No tear out. They're nice. They look nice. And last but not least, the number 3, partial, which might be a little bit tricky just to get started. But I think once I get this rolling, we'll get it. We'll get it off. Now, this is probably a video that you're not following along at home, but you could go on Amazon and buy these molds. There'll definitely be I'll show you the listing. The listing is going to be linked. We'll just cut to it. There'll be a frame that'll show the listing. And last mold, it turned out fine too. So we're going to be able to use these again. $17 for these 3 molds from Amazon. They said they were for resin and clay and polymer, but we used them for concrete and they worked perfectly. So the molds themselves held up well. Well, let's take a look at the castings. I think the castings are going to be nice too. I can tell just from my little bit of pop out. So the one thing I was expecting to see is I didn't know these edges were going to be quite so nice. I thought they'd be a little bit rounder, but the edges on these are really nice. I would say the biggest fault I would make of this mold is that they are pretty soft, which means that they flex and they hold shape. And when they were sent to me, they were kind of all squished up in a box and they haven't really bounced back out of that shape. I'm considering maybe giving them a soak in hot water for a while, and they might bounce back to their original shape. But you can see in this one, it's like a weird, it kind of bows in, the whole thing dips in here. The mold is deformed a little bit there. And so this doesn't super look like a crystal because it's bent in there, it's bulging out there. But for $17, that's a really great value. And you can have fun and you can make these, and these are great. And then combine it with gray matter and look at what we've been able to do with our marbling. This is like this one's actually really cool. This is gonna be going into my D&D landscape. This is 100% D&D crystals, some sort of mystic crystals. I can tell already. Look at that great little formation. You can have you guys walk in here. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Okay, I'm excited about this. These are nice. Well, that is our first tutorial. I'm going to do more. If you see a mold out there that you want me to experiment with and give you a bit of a review, I would give this mold a thumbs up. $17 shipped from Amazon Prime. You cannot go wrong with a price like that. That's crazy. So we'll see how many castings we get out of it. But from the feel of that one, even if the castings aren't perfect, the concrete kind of hides, especially when you do lots of swirling, the concrete hides that. And even if the castings aren't perfect, they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. So I would say go for it. I give it the thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in to The Joy of Concrete, everyone. I'm Mr. Concrete. If you liked what you saw, come back and watch another video or leave a comment below if you got questions, comments, or you can hit the website, concreteconcrete.com. We've got tutorials. We've got lots of other literature about the type of concrete we use, mixing pigments, color ratios to mix pre-batched colors, everything. Mold, supplies, anything you can hope for, it's there. And if it isn't there, tell me what we're missing, and I'll make it for you. Bye, everybody. And thanks, Kale Nugs, for the suggestion of finding inexpensive molds. I had fun doing it, and I hope you had fun watching.